According to a recent New York TimesSiena College poll, 22 of black voters in 6 battleground states will support former President Donald Trump in 2024. This is remarkable for many reasons. First, Trump is wannabe dictator, a dedicated hustler, and textbook narcissist. It would trample the U.S. Constitution. Second, and particularly notable for black Americans, Trump has brought overt racism back into fashion. He portrayed himself as a baby boy on the political stage, insisting that former President Barack Obama was an illegitimate usurper. What followed was a campaign disparaging Muslims, condemning Mexicans, and describing predominantly black neighborhoods as wastelands. His rhetoric got even uglier after he was elected. That's why I doubt there will be elections next year. Biden will have every opportunity to point out Trump's racism, and Trump will make it easy. This contrast will remind black voters, indeed, most voters of color, that it is imperative to keep Trump out of the Oval Office. Get intelligent opinions on the issues North Texans care about. While 45th president has made his biases more open than his Republican predecessors, race has divided the two major political parties since 1960s. When President Lyndon Johnson signed landmark civil rights legislation, many black Americans would have become Republicans if GOP had not enthusiastically embraced Southern strategy of appealing to disaffected white voters unhappy with changes wrought by civil rights movement. After all, black citizens share many of the concerns of their white counterparts. Inflation, for example, has depleted the paychecks and savings of black Americans just as it has depleted the paychecks and savings of whites. Because black people start with less economic security, we are bound to be more affected by higher prices. Black parents, just like white parents, want safe, functioning schools for their children, while black and brown Americans are disproportionately harmed by police brutality. I don't know anyone who wants to completely defund the police. It is equally important to note that black Americans are a very diverse group with a variety of political views, especially those who are quite conservative on cultural and social issues. Black Americans are more likely than whites to say they believe in God and regularly attend worship services. According to the Pew Research Center, a significant minority of black voters resist teaching children about sexual orientation and gender identity in public school classes. The same minority, about 42, opposes transgender athletes competing on sports teams that match their gender identity. But regardless of religious affiliation, educational attainment, or economic status, black Americans are bound by one overarching political view: we all support full racial equality. Despite advances over the past few generations, institutional racism creates barriers for Americans of color, restricting finances, hindering OU